Good morning, Italy. My name is Tanmaya, and I'm going to talk to you today about the Himalayan flower enhancers and the essences for the 7 chakras. Strange times. I'm used to talking to people and not to a screen, and I'm finding this a little bit odd. So it might take me a little while to warm up. I'll give you a little background. I was living in India for about 13 years. I'd gone there in search of myself, really, but I was very dissatisfied with my life in the world after completing university. I was feeling pretty fucked up, actually, and I wanted to find meaning. I didn't really agree with what was going on in the world. I didn't find my place in it. And so I went to the East, as many people do, searching for answers, searching for meaning, and found a spiritual master in India, Osho. And that was my life. I thought I found where I want to be, and basically be here forever. Well, life has other plans, of course. I was there for probably 13 years. In a sense, I felt like I'd burnt all my bridges. I'd left. I had no career. I had basically had nothing in the world. I was living in a community, in a commune, working in it. And then my master died. And I felt very unenlightened. What I'd gone to India for, I felt like, although much had happened, much healing, much cleansing of baggage and conditioning, I still was not enlightened. I'd been looking for enlightenment, and it hadn't happened. And I truly felt very lost. It was like in the Bible, they talk about the dark night of the soul. It really felt like the dark night of the soul. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to be part of the community anymore, because I felt like, it looked like it was becoming a religion, and that's not what I was after. It looked like there were more dogma coming into place, and rules and regulations, and the only thing I could think to do was to go to the Himalayas. I'd traveled in the Himalayas many, many years before, a barefoot hippie almost. And I loved it. I just thought it was the most magical, amazing, glorious, beautiful place I'd ever been. And the little villages and the chai shops and the gardens. And I remember thinking, if my life completely fucks up, I will come here. I hadn't remembered that, but at this time, all I could think of was to go to the Himalayas. And a friend knew a friend who'd lived in a cave up in a remote valley for about 15 years, and he said he'd show us this valley. So we went up there, and I was in heaven. I found a little house in an apple orchard to rent. It had a stream coming down on both sides, and then a mighty river, the Parvati River, at the bottom. I was in heaven. I felt like a little kid. Everywhere I looked was beauty, was magic, was wonder. And life became very simple. I spent the day collecting firewood, washing in the streams or rivers, washing clothes, cooking, walking in the forests, gathering wild vegetables to eat. And every step was an adventure, and it was pure beauty. And I was in love. It was like going back into childhood of wonder and awe. Everything was magical. What I realized later was that I was living without a future because I'd given up. I thought I had no future. And so without consciously attempting to do so, I was simply living in the present, which is the only place to live. You know, this is the whole search in meditation, is to live in the present. Is like, this is, now is the only moment there is. Where my body is this moment is all there is. And I've been struggling hard to achieve this through meditation. And it just started happening organically because I wasn't looking to a future. I wasn't even looking for enlightenment. I'd given up. I felt like there was no hope for me. There was no future. And in this space, probably after about 3 months of living like this, I started hearing little voices when I was walking, and they would say, come on, here, sit down, eat me. I'll tell you about myself. Initially, I was very resistant. I had lived in a community for the last, 13 years, where I was always told what to do. In my life before that, I was told what to do. I'd been to a boarding school as a child. I was told what to do. Finally, I was living like a free kid in the mountains, and I wasn't going to let anyone tell me what to do. But they were persistent. And so after some time, I would sit down and there'd be a little flower there, and I would eat it. And I would have these extraordinary experiences. They nearly all addressed issues that were happening to me in that moment. They really were very pertinent to my life in that very moment, my struggles or my demons or whatever it was that was happening. But it was a truly exalted and magical time. And initially, they gave me flowers for the 7 chakras. And I didn't, I was aware of the chakras, but it wasn't a big part of my spiritual education and teaching. Osho didn't talk so much about them. But later I found that he'd spoken quite a lot. It just wasn't a big part of our daily life, the chakras in the community. But when I came back from the mountains, and I must say, I didn't want to tell anyone about what had happened because I thought, people will think I'm completely nuts, And my background was that I was a farmer's son from Australia, and farmers' sons don't eat flowers. They kill sheep and things like that. So I was a bit embarrassed to tell anyone about what had happened to me, even though for me it was profound, it was very real. I thought, well, I've always been kind of crazy, and this I can have this happen to me, but I don't know that it necessarily translates to other people. After a little while, I gathered courage to tell a friend about what had happened, and she said, "Oh, Dr. Bach in England discovered the Bach flowers like this, and this is a well-known thing," and blah blah blah. I did a little research and I said, yeah, that's all very well. Dr. Bach was a Harley Street physician. I know nothing. I have no background in medicine, in healing, in anything, so what do I know? Anyway, over time, sharing these essences with people, I found that the effects did translate. People were experiencing astonishing healing effects from taking these essences. And it probably took me about 5 years to really trust that, wow, this is really something, And the flowers in the mountains had said to me, now we want you to go back into the world and take these essences and share them with as many people as possible. I was like, it's okay up in the mountains, but I left the world behind. I don't know how to live in the world. I've lived in a spiritual community. I've got no idea. Over the years, I've found that when I'm given guidance and asked to do something, it's best just to do it, because otherwise life is a real struggle. And slowly, I have brought these flowers into the world as instructed, and just found they took off in their own way without any marketing from my side. I was just invited to go and speak at conferences, which again, I found very, very difficult to begin with, because I've been living pretty much as a recluse. But over time, I realized that it was not so scary. And now actually I'm finding talking just to a blank screen more scary than talking to a room full of 300 people. Something I found my master had said about the chakras was that there are 7 bodies and 7 chakras, and within them lie all the means and all the barriers. There are no barriers outside. This is such an incredible statement, because it means that within us, we have all the tools for everything in our life, to face everything. All the means and all the barriers, all the dysfunctions, all the blocks, all the conditioning, it's all contained within this 7 chakra system. And also the means of healing, of transcending, of moving through whatever life brings to us is within ourselves, is within this chakra system, which is a very, very ancient knowledge that India developed. India was an introspective country of seekers and of self-absorption for probably 10,000 years. And the genius of India is that they have discovered these amazing metaphysical realities. They didn't do so well on the physical reality, and so that endlessly they were conquered and ruled, and India was like a lopsided bird. It developed spirituality, but it didn't develop material reality very well, and it became a very, very poor country. Now it's flipped, and India is very, very focused on wealth, and it's kind of forgetting a lot about its spiritual side. We need both. We are physical beings. We're living in a material existence, in a material world, and we need to live in this material world, but we need also to realize that we are spiritual beings, and there is a way to live in balance within ourselves. And I believe that never before on this planet has it been so important for us to find that balance and equilibrium within ourselves. We're out of balance. We see ourselves separate from existence. And as a result, we are creating mayhem and chaos on the planet. We're at tipping point to destroy this earth. We've hit the, a great extinction period. There hasn't been one like this for 60 million years when the asteroid hit the planet and blew everything up, and the age of the dinosaurs came to an end. And it was also the birth of the flora and fauna that we know today. And there was just this emergence of great beauty and creativity and life on this planet. Possibly that's what will happen now. But we're really in a difficult time. And I think it's imperative for all of us to take responsibility for who we are and to find that balance and peace and love inside ourselves. And this will ripple out. We create the world. We create what happens around us. And when we are a whole, balanced, loving human being, we radiate this around us. And this affects, it's a ripple effect, and it affects life all around us. So, in my understanding, never before has it been so imperative for us to know ourselves, to come into balance, and in this way bring balance back into the world. Krishnamurti said something like, be in the world, but not of the world. It's not about renouncing the world, it's about fully engaging with the world, but don't let all the madness penetrate. And we're in a time of incredible madness, and it's a very, very difficult time. And from my perspective, one of the great keys we have at this time is to work with the 7 chakras. So the other thing I would say about these flower essences is that I was told to call them enhancers, not remedies. I became aware that Bach flower essences were called remedies. And what the guidance I was given was that these are not remedies to fix something that is wrong in man. These are enhancers to enhance what is already the case, what is already whole, what is already in balance. The mystics will say that at our deepest core, we're whole. We've never been not whole. We've just simply forgotten. We've been overlaid with conditioning, with belief systems, with social mores and morals. These have all been piled on top of us by the various different societies that we've grown up in. But at the very core, we are this tabula rasa, this clean slate that came into the world as a small child, pure, empty of any beliefs or conditionings. And I think the journey of a human being is to come back with awareness and understanding to this place of wholeness within, and realizing that we're not separate from anything in existence. We are one with everything, but this is not an intellectual belief. This is a deep knowing when we go within and explore our interiority, when we dive deep into ourselves and face the demons, face the pain, face all those boogies inside that we've been trying to wrestle with and kind of keep quiet. It's such hard work. And yet, deep inside, we're untouched. We just have to penetrate the veils. And working with the chakras, for me, is a beautiful, beautiful and very potent way to explore. So the essence for the first chakra is called down to earth. And the first chakra rules our physical body. It's located roughly between the perineum and the genitals. And these are not physical things, they're energetic. You could almost say they're consciousness, parts of the body. But the Indians have called them vortexes, wheels of energy. But what has been discovered in recent years is that science is beginning to validate the existence of the chakras. A wonderful, wonderful woman and biochemist in America who's now passed away, Candace Pert, wrote a fabulous book called The Molecules of Emotion. And she was the person who first discovered opium receptors in the brain. Through science, she has come to understand that the chakras are actually are also incredible gatherings of nerve plexuses and peptides, and they relate to the endocrine system. That there is a whole scientific validation for this metaphysical understanding of the chakras, that the chakras are actually, and I'm not a scientist, it's not my field, but you can look up her work, Candace Pert, Candace, Pert, P-E-R-T, where she describes very accurately how the peptides are gathered in each of these centers, which we call the chakras, is the endocrine system. And this affects our whole emotional and psychological being. The nerve plexuses are there, the peptides are there, the endocrine system is there. Body, mind, and emotion are all throughout the whole body. Her genius was that emotions are not just in the brain, they're in every cell of the body, and it's through peptides and the endocrine system and the nerve plexuses that this information is through our body. When we're sad, all cells are vibrating with sadness because of this chemical and electrical movement inside of us. So the first chakra rules the physical body. The essence is called down to earth. It's a red flower that hangs down, but it also has little white flowerets that point up. And for me, and I didn't know anything about this at the time, but in the world of flower essences, there is something called the doctrine of signatures. And the actual look and shape and visuals and smells of a flower indicate often what it is useful for. These flowers hang down. Red. Red is the color of the first chakra. The chakras are represented by all the colors of the rainbow. starting with red and ending in white light, violet at the crown chakra. The flower hangs down. The energy of the first chakra is to connect us to the earth, to our physical body. And so issues around survival and material existence and fear of survival are all aspects of the first chakra. The first chakra rules these emotions, and this is where we can find any aberrations or blocks or disturbances in these issues will be found in the area of the first chakra. First chakra rules sex, particularly sex in men. The male genitals are primarily in the first chakra. Female's genitals are also up into the second chakra. And so this is why often for men, sex is primarily physical and about physical reality, whereas a woman, it's often very connected to emotions until we bring these things into balance. So issues around fear of death, fear of life. Many people are afraid of life. Many people are afraid to really let go in life because they fear death. Fear of physical survival. It's the imperative to survive as a biological being that is ruled by the first chakra and all the particular manifestations of these issues. It's also the seat of Kundalini in Kundalini Yoga. It's where it's the base of our energy. Sex is our raw energy. It's the energy we have to work with. Yeah, it's our life force. We came into being through sex. And this is where our life force is, in this first chakra. Now, in the metaphysical journey of the chakras, there's two possibilities. One is sex and procreation. And that's all that nature wants of us. Sex and procreation, then finished. That's why in many men, the prostate problems later in life, because the nature is not concerned with the survival after procreation has happened. Yeah, I think, and then there's consciousness, and that has other ideas. So the possibility first is sex, procreation. And the second is to turn the energy upwards, up into the second chakra. Before we do that, I just want to say that each chakra is a vast, vast field and contains many, many issues. So whereas the chakra essence really is a potent tool for focusing the chakra, for activating the chakra and bringing the chakra into balance, you might find that there are many other issues associated with that chakra. And for me, in the Himalayan essences, I would say the other essences that may address issues of the first chakra are cedar, Rapa Nui, heart of Tantra, let go, endurance, vital spark, warrior, and spider fungus. It's such a vast world, and you'll find in other modalities, other essences that will also target issues of the first chakra. The beauty of the chakra essences is, in my understanding, is that at the core of each chakra is emptiness. And all the chakras are connected. They're not in isolation of each other. It's one energy system. And they're all connected through emptiness. There's channels which bring up the energy of the chakras, 2 channels. But at their core, at the core of this spinning vortex, this wheel of energy, is emptiness. And this is a place of great peace, of great stillness, of great potential, of great potentiality. When I say emptiness, it's not empty. It's so potent. It's full of potential. My understanding of the chakra essences is that they have a vibration. And you've got to remember, a flower essence is a vibration. It's a vibration of light. A flower is a vibration of light. In fact, everything in existence is a vibration of light, if you like. The flower is a vibration of light. Our energy bodies are light bodies. You know, we have 7 bodies. As I said, Osho talked about the 7 chakras rule the 7 bodies. These bodies are what is called the aura, or the etheric bodies, or they're light. Yeah. Flower essences are light, and they resonate with our light body. The different essence flowers of the chakra system of the Himalayas is that what I've discovered is that they are a resonance with that particular chakra when the chakra is in balance. Now, all sorts of other stuff may be going on in the chakra, but that is not the core of the chakra. The core of the chakra is this place of stillness, of peace, of emptiness, of equilibrium. What the essence does is to give a little spark or a vibration or an invitation to the chakra to remember, this is the frequency that I operate in when I'm in balance. And all the other energetics that are going on are a result of imbalance. So the essence is like a spark or a reminder to the chakra of like, I remember this. This is my natural state. Yeah, this is my natural state. So it's a beautiful meditation to actually use these essences and go in to the chakras. What often happens though when we take these essences is that we might feel disturbed, we might feel uncomfortable, we might feel all this grunge or these memories or these energetic sensations or fears or old memories may start surfacing. These are things that are in the way of the chakra being in balance. So it's a matter of just trusting and going, okay, things are releasing. Things are being let go of. That is why let go is also a very good essence to take when working with the inner world. It's like releasing. So not always we can tune in to the natural state of the chakra. Often we have to face the shit. Yeah. We have to face all the turmoil because it's a lifetime's accumulated turmoil and conditioning and hurts and pain and abuse in some cases. And it's all there. And the thing is to be very, very gentle with oneself. And another key word in working with the chakras is acceptance. Acceptance is a quality of the heart chakra. It's good when working with the lower chakras to stay connected with the heart chakra. Take the heart essence, ecstasy, to just keep coming back to that place of self-love, of love. In fact, I think there's 3 core words in working with the chakras that I would keep remembering. One is energy. We need energy. We need life force, and the energy is the first chakra. So if we repress our first chakra, if we repress our sex, if we repress our vitality, and often we've been repressed as children. Too noisy, too loud, don't touch your genitals, this is wrong, this is not okay. And we start contracting, and we contract a lot in the first chakra. We contract in all the chakras. But energy, life force, we need it. William Blake, the English mystic, said energy is delight. Energy is like liquid ecstasy, sensuality. It's freedom of movement. It's free flow. In theatre, where I worked for a while, one of the basic qualities as an actor was to be in free flow. In free flow, you could allow anything. You could be whatever. Yeah. Bound flow, you weren't very creative. You couldn't. You might have to be in bound flow for a character sometimes, but you could only reach that through being in free flow, fully allowing that space. Yeah. Free flow, free flow. It's sensuous, it's alive, and we need that energy. Yeah. Acceptance of the heart is vitally important. To accept the good and the bad without judgment, without expectation. It's just to accept what is each moment. Yeah. To accept what is each moment, not to fight everything. Yeah. Yeah. And awareness, which is a quality of the 6th chakra, the 3rd eye. Awareness. Awareness, acceptance, and energy. 3 incredible forces we have within us for facing the challenges of life, facing our internal challenges, facing our external challenges, but always from a place of balance and equilibrium and not feeling separate. One way, a very nice way to work with the chakras, with these essences, is simply just to take the essence under the tongue, or put it on your hands, put it directly on the chakra. You can put it directly on the chakra, or you can put it on the crown chakra. Putting drops of essences on the crown chakra sends them immediately through the chakra system, the energy system. It's a free flow. Yeah, you can activate all the chakras through the crown chakra. But I would suggest, when working with these essences initially, to work directly with the chakra, put the essence on the chakra, take the essence under the tongue. Breathe into that chakra. And as you breathe in, feel the energy, the breath. Let the breath guide your focus and awareness down to the chakra. Breathe into that chakra, and just in your mind's eye, in your imagination, imagine a red flower in the first chakra. Breathing into it, you're giving that red flower life. As you breathe out, just feel it slowly opening. Its petals beginning to open. So in breath, you're vitalizing the flower. You're taking your full awareness to that place, your focus. Out breath, you're releasing it and letting it expand and grow and its blossoms to open, and you can almost feel its petals brushing against the inside of your thighs, into your pelvic bowl, opening up into that area around your genitals. It's a beautiful meditation. It's very simple and something you can just do lying on your bed or sitting down. There are many chakra meditations that you can find on the internet. In Osho music, I think there's chakra sounds and chakra meditations, which are fabulous. And I would suggest initially, when you take these chakra essences, to spend a little time with each chakra, and to really get to know it and to get the feel of it and to become acquainted with it. In time, then you can just take them on the run, as we all do with everything. And, oh, I need a bit of first chakra. Off we go back into the world to do our work. But this is a good way to center, to come back to yourself. In fact, all flower essences, I think, are a great way to center ourselves. Yeah. When we turn the energy up from the first chakra, instead of it going out, we bring it up to the second chakra, the hara. The essence for this chakra is called well-being. When we bring the energy up, in Indian Tantra, they call it making a circle of light between the first and the second chakras. And the result is we have a feeling of well-being. We have a feeling of contentment. We are, in a sense, sufficient unto ourselves. We don't need anybody else to make us feel good. We've created this circle of light between our first and second chakras. I will also say that in Indian metaphysical understanding, up until the heart, the chakras are all a polarity. So in a man, the first chakra is positive. In a woman, the first chakra is negative. Negative polarity, positive polarity. In a man, the first chakra is positive polarity. The second chakra is a negative polarity. In a woman, the first chakra is a negative polarity, and in the second chakra, a positive polarity. So when we create this circle of energy between the first and second chakras, we are creating a wholeness, yeah? We're bringing negative and positive together, and there's a sense of incredible well-being and contentment. Now, the second chakra, I said the essence is called well-being. The second chakra is a doozy of a chakra. It's the center of our power. It's why in martial arts, everything is centered around the hara. It's the storehouse of energy. It is also the center of incredible wounding, of traumas, of pain, of anger. Most of us don't want to go there because it's a very uncomfortable world. It's a wonderful world of creativity and wholeness and beauty, but it is also full of thorns of our early childhood traumas, abuse, of being made wrong, of having our sexuality condemned, of having our vitality condemned. And so, and the second chakra is the storehouse of energy. It's where our life force is held. That's why it's such a potent region in martial arts. It's where the power is. It's our storehouse of power. So it's this mixed bag. when we go there, we often have to face incredible rage, incredible anger, incredible pain, loss. The second chakra rules the emotional body. And it's the world of sensuality, of connection, of touch, of family, of being with people, of interconnectedness. And yet it's also full of trauma and pain and dysfunction because of our early childhood conditioning. The sages say that the soul resides 2 inches below the navel in the chakra. It's where our essence is. A.H. Almas, a brilliant teacher, talks about essence. That's who we are on the deepest spiritual metaphysical level. And the loss of essence, mainly in the hara. And so he's called it, he's written of it as the theory of holes, that when something happens and we disconnect from essence because of abuse or of trauma or of conditioning or of social mores, we disconnect from essence and a hole is created. And there's, instead of feeling fullness and connection in this place, we feel an emptiness and a loss, but not the emptiness I was talking of earlier. It's the emptiness of lack, the emptiness of loss, of it's a dysfunction of hollowness. And so our life is then spent in trying to plug these holes, fill them up. And it might be fill it up through sex, through food, through fame, through work, through material wealth, through whatever it is that we become obsessive with, fixated with, addicted to. Most addictions have their root cause in the hara and can be looked at and addressed down on this level. Most addictions are because of a disconnection from essence. And we're trying to compensate. We're trying to feel better. We're trying to plug it up, to put a Band-Aid on it, and nothing works, as we know. You know, we may spend years wanting something, wanting a particular relationship, or wanting a new car, or the particular job, or particular mansion or house, or whatever it is that maybe want, or just, you know, this awesome sex life. And then when we get it, after a while, it's doesn't do it. We don't really feel that fulfilled. We're still looking for something more and more and more. And nothing works until we go back down into the hara and feel this connection with essence. Become essence again.